Gee, it's nice to be someplace warm. I was surprised to see snowflakes.
Yeah.
Our live cast is still warming up.
We live?
Not yet. Okay. All set.
Okay. It's now 7 o'clock. I hereby call the January 11th meeting of the Frostburg Planning Commission to order. We will start our meeting with a roll call of the members present.
Adam Ritchey.
Karen Krogh.
Conrad Vest, Chairman.
Ray Race.
We have a quorum. As we begin, I would ask anyone presenting business before the commission or individuals who want to comment on business before the commission or other concerns, please come forward to the podium at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record. Each meeting is recorded, so please speak loudly and clearly. Overwhelming crowd here tonight, I see. Okay, first thing on our agenda is review of the December 22nd, December Planning Commission meeting, and I was not there, so I cannot attest to what's written or what's not there.
From what I could tell, the minutes were complete. Have you had a chance?
I have. Yeah.
So I would make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes as presented. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. I see we have no citizens here from the floor, so we'll continue on from that. And the next item is the text amendment, restaurants as a special exception use in the TLI zoning district. Okay. And I take it that these that you presented to us are the amendments?
Yes, so this is a follow-up from last month's meeting. Last month it was proposed that restaurant uses be principally permitted in the TLI zoning district, and the commission had requested that we table the discussion until this month and do an adjustment to that. And so as part of that adjustment, we made the restaurants a special exception use within that district, and that special exception use would only apply to lots with a front lot line abutting arterial or collector streets. And I pulled some of that language from definitions that we already have outlined in the zoning ordinance and in the subdivision and land development regulations. Up on the screen, I have the definition of arterial streets and collector streets. If you would like to review those two definitions and see if you feel that those are appropriate for
Can you take the highlight off?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay.
Sorry about that. So it says
Is
arterials.
that also here in what we have?
I'm sorry, I did not include that in your packet,
No,
I'm
okay.
sorry. But
All right.
I can read it off for you.
If you would, please.
Sure.
I'm having a hard time reading it.
It is hard to read with white background.
Yeah, so arterial streets and highways are those which are used primarily for fast or heavy traffic. And collector streets are those which carry traffic from minor streets to the major arterial streets and highways, including the principal entrance streets of a major residential development and streets for circulation within such a development. So that's where I got that language for the updated the updated language in our text amendment.
Sounds to me that, what's the,
Definitely qualifies as a collector street.
yeah. You're talking about,
Smitty's.
Oh, I can't
Smitty's tire.
yeah. No, I'm trying to think the name of the street down through there.
Village Parkway.
Village Parkway.
Yeah,
and
Village
36.
Parkway, yeah, okay. Sounds to me like that Village Parkway would meet that definition.
Yeah, Village is a collector, and then 36 would be an arterial.
Yeah. Something that occurred to me as I was reading the definitions that we have in our, the different types of restaurants and all that, it would seem to me that a snack bar is part and parcel to a truck stop. If you think about it, just about every truck stop I've been has had some kind of a snack bar or
Right.
place for people to get something to eat.
Yeah, but when we did the original one, the definition of restaurant versus in regard to the snack bar was
Yeah.
preparation of food on site. So by calling it a restaurant, now you can have preparation of food on site.
Okay, all right.
And I think that ties into the health department's definition also.
Well, it sounds like that language is sufficient to make it feasible to accommodate this use in the TLI.
As a special exception.
We're not necessarily doing it to accommodate the use, we're doing it to make TLI a little more friendly to development. To fit in more with, like Conrad was saying, for truck stops in general.
Yep.
So, because we can't just change zoning for one applicant.
Correct.
And there, let's see,
But it was obvious that the county really wanted this one to go through.
Yeah, what are you looking for today?
I would take a motion and a second to have this, once you're satisfied with this language, it would go through one final review by the city attorney, and then it would come before the mayor and council for a first and second reading, public hearing, and then would become an official text amendment.
I'll make a motion, we forward this to mayor and city council. I'll second.
and moved and seconded that we forward the text amendment to mayor and city council. Any comments, questions?
Point of order, I don't know if Commissioner Ritchey can actually vote on this.
Saved by
Saved by the bell.
the bell.
There we go.
Let the record reflect Jeff showed up in the nick of time.
Glad there's not a big crowd.
Well, we already have a motion before the committee to to approve the text amendment that would allow restaurants as a special exception
Okay.
in this thing. And Ray brought up a very good point, whether Adam can actually vote on this, because it then has to go to the mayor and city council.
That's a good point.
But
I
since
know
we
we've
now
had-
have
I mean,
four-
traditionally, they've
Sure,
always, you know, recused themselves from that, so.
But now that we have 4 people, we can still go on with the amendment. Would you read
I'll have
back
it. How have we handled that?
the motion so that
They've always
Jeff has an idea?
Okay.
What's going
This
on?
is based off of the motion last week for over on,
Yeah, so here, the change
Village Parkway.
okay.
in red there, which I went through my notes, it follows in line with what I had in my notes.
So the text amendment, where we moved it from principal permitted down to special exception, the text amendment now states, oops, sorry, let me just get back here. That the special exception use would only apply to lots with a front lot line abutting an arterial or collector street. And the definitions of those are in the subdivision and land development regulations.
And she has them on
Okay.
the screen.
I have them up on the screen
Yeah.
here.
Do we have restaurants defined? I'm assuming we do.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted
Yeah.
to.
and that's what brought all this up in the first place, was preparation of food.
Mhm.
Yes.
Just a moment.
Again, as we always do, I don't want to do something and then have it like, oh, we should have added this. It's like,
Yes, and our definition of restaurant, a standard restaurant is a food serving establishment whose principal business is the sale of food and the principal method of operation is its service when ordered from a menu to seated customers at a table, booth, or counter inside the establishment. A snack bar or refreshment stand at a public or nonprofit community swimming pool, playground, or park operated solely for the convenience of the patrons shall not be considered a restaurant.
okay, scroll.
I mean, it's not his principal business though, right?
Not for that specific project, but you know, we have to think district-wide on both sides of town, both in the business park and the one, the portion of the district that's off of Midlothian Road as
And
well.
there's other lots at front on Village Parkway as you go down through there. I don't know whether they're all owned by the nursing home and the high rise.
Right.
And
And we got
On
the other
Smitty's
industrial park at the other end of town.
oh, you're talking about the business center.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it? Zoned? Okay.
Yeah, it's TLI,
Okay.
Those are the only two, right?
I believe so.
Yes, if you have your binder with you, we've got the business park and then, on the
This,
other
there,
side.
yeah,
there.
there's ABC
Yeah.
and there's this. Yeah. Do you have the ability to read back the motion or not?
To read back the motion. I
Ready?
have a motion from Commissioner Race to forward this text amendment to the mayor and city council.
Okay,
I
and
need
that
a
was seconded
second.
by Karen, right?
No, Adam, but
And that's where I was
Okay.
just about ready to
Okay.
vote
Yes.
on it
Good.
when
Good
I asked
timing.
if anybody had any other questions. So you got here to ask your question.
We had a pretty good discussion last meeting about it.
I'm sure you did.
We missed you. I had to play the chairman.
Okay. Everybody ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions?
I will change.
Motion carries.
And I'm sorry, for the record, who made the second on that?
Karen?
There's Karen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at discussion items by the chair and members of the commission. Anybody got anything they want to discuss? Next thing I have here is an update on 121 McCulloh Street BOZA hearing.
Yes, last month, you all heard from an applicant seeking a favorable recommendation to the Board of Zoning Appeals. You all did grant that, and the BOZA hearing was last Wednesday, the 4th. It was a really good discussion, and the BOZA unanimously decided to allow that expansion of that daycare facility and the private school.
Okay.
Was it lengthy?
It was a little over an hour.
Really?
Yeah, the applicant had a very robust packet. It was about 50 pages, and she had really done her homework, so.
Okay, next thing I see on here is permit detail report, commercial and residential.
Yes, last month I had given you a kind of at-a-glance permit overview, and this month I am giving you the full list of all the permits that we issued this year. It was a big year for permits. On the commercial side, the most notable things that I have here, we issued 14 use and occupancy permits. 4 of those were at the Frostburg Plaza. 2 of those were for each location of the Pop-Up Frostburg program, and 1 of them was the expansion of an existing business. And then on the residential side, most notably, we had 7 single-family dwellings that we issued building permits for, and we issued 8 use and occupancy permits. So at this time, phase 1 of Pritchard Farms is completely done. All of the structures have been built, all of the use and occupancy permits have been issued, and we're now issuing building permits for phases 2 and 3, which are happening concurrently. And I'm happy to answer any other questions you have.
2 and 3 are that's the last section we did that you can, I guess when you go in, it's to the up on the right side.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Just as an aside, I noticed as I was coming home this evening that they poured concrete today in front of the, what do I call it, the hangar?
Yeah, sure.
The draft?
The
Yeah.
draft or whatever, yeah.
And now it's freezing.
Yeah, and I didn't see any blankets on top of the
No,
concrete.
it's freezing out there.
Did you?
Poor choice.
Glad I'm not the only one who thought that today.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Conrad? 6 months? Give it 12 months maybe?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to go before the street out here that was paved in the snow.
True.
Any other items to come before the commission?
Well, somewhere I saw the Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yes, there was a Chick-fil-A was selling as a short-term solicitor, I believe they did, at the Somerset Trust branch at 300 East, or
Oh, that's the
351
Chicken
East.
Shack thing?
Chicken Shack. Huh?
That's Chick-fil-A.
No. The Chicken Coop also has a food truck permit, a long-term solicitor permit, and Chick-fil-A,
It was a short term.
yes, it was for a short period of time. They had been invited by the owners of the bank to set up there.
Oh.
So they prepare their food at their restaurant and then kind of vend as a catering style.
Any idea when the Dunkin' Donuts are going to start their building? Or
I've heard that it will have site plans within the next few months, but
I
I-
wondered if they were just gonna focus on Laveo. Didn't know if they were still continuing with that.
And they seemed really quick about it at
Yeah, they-
first, and
I
then
know.
kind of,
Took that building down in a hurry.
Well, we remember that. I mean, they looked at 2 other properties before they
Right,
went
yeah.
up on the hill.
That one on the hill was the nicest of the 3 that they brought here, that's for sure. All right, if there's no more business, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Are we done?
Nope.
Nothing else?
We can be unless you want to.
You still?
No, these are just really interesting.
Oh,
I'll second.
okay. We're adjourned.
Uh,